In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to adjust the line weights in Revit. Let's go. Now quickly, before we jump into Revit, I would just like to ask you to check out my website, balkanarchitect.com. Link will be up in the cards above and also down in the description of this video. We are an Autodesk authorized training center and we offer over 24 Revit courses. Now let's jump into Revit. Here we are in Revit, and first let me show you the option to adjust line weights here in the model itself. So when you have any model elements like this wall, for example, you want to check the line weights used for this. So how do we do that? Well, first we need to go here to the properties panel and make sure that the visibility graphics overrides doesn't actually have any overrides for walls. So let's just search for the walls category, and here we can see no overrides. Then you can cancel out of that. You can also select the wall itself, right click and go to override graphics by element and just double check to see if any overrides have been made here. A quick way to check that is to see if the reset button is grayed out. If it is, that means there is no overrides to this particular element. Okay, once we know all of that, now we can establish that all of the graphics are controlled by the Object Styles menu. So the Object Styles menu is here on the Manage tab, and here on the Settings panel we can find Object Styles. So Object Styles is your kind of main control of graphics in Revit. So here let's search for the walls category, and here we can see that the projection lines are 1 and then cut lines are 3. So that's the value used here. So you can change the value here if you want to make it, let's say, thicker. I can change this to 5, hit apply, and as you can see, it's going to make all of these lines thicker. Now, if you actually want to know how thick are these lines going to be once I print them out on a sheet of paper, well, for that, we need to go here to Additional Settings. So on the Manage tab, Additional Settings, and here we have the line weights. You click on that, and here you can find all of the line weights. So you need to consult this table. You can see this is 1 to 100, and we can remember we used the 5 line weight. So you find the 5 line weight, and then you find the 1 to 100, and here we can see that's going to be 0.5 millimeters thick. So these wall lines are going to be of this thickness. If we set it back down to 3, that's going to be half of that. So we can just kind of make an informed decision on how large do we want these lines to be. Now I'm just going to cancel out of here. Now this is for all of your model elements. However, what about detail lines? So if I go here to the Annotate tab and then use detail lines, we don't really have the option to adjust the thickness. We can just pick the lines. Yeah, we have some thin lines, some wide lines, but we don't really know how wide is the wide line and how thin is the thin line. So where do we check that? Well, for that, we need to go here to the Manage tab, go to Additional Settings, and open up the Line Styles. Here I can expand this menu, and then I can search for these. So you can see that the thin lines are 1, and then the wide lines are 5. So those are the thicknesses. So I can even create a new one. So I can just go here to New and then say 3 line and click OK, and then set this one to number 3, just like that. Hit apply, OK, and then when I'm back here, I can simply go to Annotate, Detail Line, and use that 3 line, place it in between, and as you can see, we have some in-between thickness for this particular line. And that's a very quick approach to adjusting line weights in Autodesk Revit. Thank you for watching, guys. Make sure to check out my website, balkanarchitect.com, for more Revit courses. There I have over 120 hours of content, and I'm adding more each week. Make sure to subscribe for more videos, and also I've added a video over there that might interest you as well.